LeBron James dubbed this final stretch of the season as 23 of the most important games of his career. Now, the Lakers had a fantastic win over the weekend. They came back from over 20 points down against the Dallas Mavericks to win. They had a fantastic game. And it wasn't just LeBron. AD closed it out down the stretch. For me, Jared Vanderbilt was the player who came in and really made the big impact. But during that game, LeBron picked up an injury. Now, LeBron being superhuman, he laced up his shoes and walked it off. But upon further examination, there is now fear amongst the Los Angeles Lakers organization that LeBron James could be out for several weeks with an injury to his foot. So my question to you, Mr. BJ Armstrong, is the Lakers are in a very tight race to get to the play-in or the playoffs. We talked about how close the standings are out west. Do the Lakers still have a chance of making it to the postseason without LeBron James? Or is this season now one for the books?
Well, Mo, I'll say what I said at the beginning of the season. At 38 years of age, Mo, I don't know what to expect as far as health-wise from a 38-year-old, as he is playing. And he's certainly putting up amazing individual numbers, right? He's averaging over 30 points a game, blah, 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 blah. However, Mo, when you get to that stage of your career and you in year 20, I'm not sure what to expect as far as availability. Some days you may feel good. Some days it may not. You just never know. The length of the season, the 82-game schedule, will take its toll at some point. I hope that he's able to come back and play because they are in a playoff race. And that's all you want is you want a chance to have an opportunity to play. I believe they were currently in 12th or 13th seed or what have you. And every game matters at this stage. But Mo, when you get to the stage, you just never know. Youth will always be served in this league, and you try to manage father time, beat father time, whatever perspective you want to look at it. But Mo, I just don't know what to expect. And I've said it. I'll say it again. Just give me what you got.
Yep,
I'll take whatever you got. And he has given everything he had. That's all you can ask. Now, hopefully, he's back. Because they're going to need everyone. D'Angelo Russell, I thought that's going to hurt them.
Yeah, he's picked up an ankle injury to D'Angelo Russell, so he's doubtful for the next game. But the Lakers are currently 12th. They're just 3.5 games behind the 4th seed. That's how close the Western Conference is right now. The OKC Thunder, who are 13th, are only 4 games behind the 4th seed. So a little 4-game win streak here and a 4-game slide from another team could shake things on its head completely. The Lakers, we can look at the numbers with LeBron James this season. They're 24-23. Without LeBron, they're 5-9. But obviously, they have a new look team. They made a lot of changes at the trade deadline. They're 4-1 since the trade deadline. And so now the responsibility is going to fall on the shoulders of Mr. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis with LeBron is 13-14. And in the games he's played without LeBron, the Lakers are 4-5. Even though AD has been putting up 27.8 points a game, 15.9 rebounds a night, 2.2 blocks, shooting 52% from the field, over 33 minutes in those games without LeBron James. Let's have a look at the upcoming schedule. The next 10 games for the Lakers. They play the Grizzlies twice, who are also, in the Western Conference playoffs. The Grizzlies are currently sat second. But then they play the Thunder, who are right behind them in the standings. They play the Timberwolves, who are ninth, just 1 game ahead of the Lakers. They play the Warriors, who are currently 7th, just 2 games in front of the Lakers. They play the Raptors and the Knicks out in the East, and then they come back and play the Pelicans, who are just, half a game ahead of the Lakers in the standings. They play the Rockets, which should be a guaranteed win on schedule, and then they play the Dallas Mavericks, who are the 6th seed right now, just 2.5 games in front of the LA Lakers. So those are some crucial matchups when it comes to the standings. How do you see them faring over those 10 games? Because LeBron is now expected to be out 2 to 3 weeks. It says indefinitely, but the team is saying around 2 to 3 weeks is the hope that he can get back onto the court. So at least those 10 games coming up, they're going to be without him for pretty much most of them. How do you think they're going to fare?
Well, every time you step on the floor as a player, and I'm sure the LA Lakers are the same, these are all winnable games. So every game that they play, they feel, especially with the talent that they have, By the way, I really like the moves they've made as far as their depth and what they're doing. So if they continue to play solid basketball under Coach Darvin Ham and they continue to play their style and their brand of basketball, they have a chance to win. And meaning they have to defend and rebound and share the ball with one another. They have an opportunity to win. So does that increase their chances or their margin of error with LeBron and D'Angelo Russell? Yes. However, I still believe that this team, as is, have an opportunity to win these games. And you play with the mentality, you hear so many coaches say this, next man up. So they don't have a choice at this point. Right now, they have to find a way to get it done. And I believe that they have an opportunity to win these games. So many teams, they load manage. So many teams don't play all of their guys, especially at this stage of the season. So, you just play your brand of basketball. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Lakers. I'm looking forward to seeing Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has missed a lot of basketball, but when he's healthy and when he's good, he's really, really good. So he's more than capable, right, of taking his 27-point average to 30-something points. And you do what you got to do at this stage of the season for them to get in because, anything can happen in the play-in game. However, the Lakers feel, and their team was built to get into the playoffs. So they have to play as such and give it a good shot. And I think they have an opportunity at the end of the season to do that.
Looking at Anthony Davis in particular, a lot of people have, they say he's one of the 10 best players in the NBA when he's healthy, or he's a top 10 talent, or whatever you might phrase it as. LeBron described it as 23 of the most important games of his career. These might be the most important games of Anthony Davis's career, looking at the future of the Lakers, because LeBron's getting older. As you know, no one can beat Father Time. As great as LeBron is, this injury, you never know what's going to happen next season and beyond. So for the Los Angeles Lakers, Anthony Davis needs to be that number one option now, from now on and moving forwards into the future. So it's going to be interesting how he reacts to that pressure and if he's available to stay on the court as well, because we know with his injury history, it's going to be, it's going to be touch and go every time that you see him go down or whatever it might be. He's not had the best luck, the best fortune with injury so far. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, there's a narrative saying who's the best player. Everyone wants to be the star, right? And I get it. In the movies, everyone wants to be the lead character. However, every lead character or every star player knows the following, which our listeners should know. I don't care who the lead character is. I just want to have the best team. The lead character alone can't win by themselves. That it's never happened and never will. Now, it's fun to say that. It's fun to say now it falls on Anthony Davis. Well, it's kind of like every star player knows that they can't win a game or a series or a championship by themselves. But it's fun to say, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. The thing is, I'm not looking for Anthony Davis. I'm not, but maybe some people are. I'm not looking for Anthony Davis to carry anything. What I'm looking for Anthony Davis to do is to participate and play his role within the framework of the team. Because this team, they have a lot more depth than they had just a week or two ago. They have a lot more depth now. This kid Vanderbilt, has come in. Beasley has come in. Rui Hachimura has come in. They got Reeves back. They have some depth now, and they have some players that can play and contribute from night to night, whatever's available. Now, when all of those guys are healthy, I'm not looking for one guy on that roster as is currently constructed to carry anything. That's just if LeBron James is still averaging 30 points with this roster, I can about guarantee you they won't make the play-in or the playoffs. Okay, from my perspective. So less is more with this group because Beasley and D'Angelo Russell and Vanderbilt and all of these guys should be contributing. And they should be a much better team because of they've included more active players who will participate in their rotation.
And how excellent has Jared Vanderbilt been? Because the defensive intensity he showed, he shut down Luka Doncic and was a big reason for that comeback win. I think he's been their best pickup out of all the guys they've got.
Yeah, thus far, he has been a really good player. But they need all of these guys to contribute. So I'm not looking for anyone to carry anything, And when I hear those narratives, I go, really, like, as great as Giannis is, he's not going to win without the contribution of the other guys. Jason Tatum, look at that. Those are all of these players who are terrific individual talents. You're going to need a team. And I think the LA Lakers, we need to respect those guys because they're going to need every single player now to contribute because they are in a dogfight right now. Literally. They're in a fight every minute, every second, every game. And they're going to need different contributions from different people at any given moment. Like, that was a phenomenal team effort in their last game. You don't come back from 27 points because one guy. They came back because they had contributions from a lot of different players. So I think right now, all of those guys, right, whoever's available is going to have to step up. And the more guys they have available, the better chances they get. I like their team and what they've done. I thought those were good trades that they made for both sides, right? For Russell, I thought it was a good trade for him. And I thought it was a good trade for the Lakers. And it looked like it's working out for everyone involved.
If you had to predict their record over the 10 games I described, the Grizzlies twice, Thunder, Timberwolves, Warriors, Raptors, Knicks, Pelicans, Rockets, Mavs, what do you think the Lakers' record will be over those 10 upcoming games?
Well, I don't think they have. I think they have to go a minimum of 8-2. I think they have to play. They have to play at a very high level. It's no choice, right? It doesn't matter. They got to find a way now. Now you got to go 8-2, 9-1, 10-0 if you can. You got to find a way. So at this stage of the game, every game matters. They've missed a lot of games due to a lot of their key players, in particular Anthony Davis, now LeBron James, has been out. But now they have depth. It's one thing, Mo. You and I have been together for a couple years now. You have to have talent, and you got to have depth. These teams, when you see things continue to repeat themselves, you just got to acknowledge this is what it is. The way the game is played today, because of the pace of the way they play, you have to have depth in order to get through the regular season. Now, 20, 25 years ago, that wasn't the case. The game was slower. You played at a different place. You played a more team-oriented game. There wasn't as many individual clear-outs and all of the things. Now, guys are, everyone's crossing over and stepping back and pacing space and all of these things, double step backs. The game is much faster. Therefore, it requires you to have a much deeper team because of the way the game is played. That's just what it is. Now, we could keep saying all the other things. However, we know, Mo, you and I know, our listeners know, depth is probably one of the key components. Why? Because it's going to limit your opportunities to have to play guys extended minutes, which we know why. There's load management. Okay. We know that. So the fine line in there is saying, okay, if a guy probably shouldn't be playing 35 minutes a night. He should probably be playing 30 minutes a night. And you're going to need depth to be able to play and keep those guys healthy so that you can play throughout the season. So when guys do get hurt, like LeBron is currently injured, and we don't know how long he's going to be out, you have to play the games. So we know depth is a key component, and we know talent. And when you see teams have depth and talent, it increases your chances. Your Celtics, for instance, Jaylen Brown goes out, they keep right on trucking. Chris Middleton is out, they keep right on moving. You keep adding players like Jay Crowder, Joe Ingles. Those players matter. Those players. Now, Giannis will get all the headlines, but Jay Crowder, I think, is going to be a very impactful player for them. Yeah. Joe Ingles is rounded into shape.
So it's on to not just Anthony Davis, but all the role players. But